Heroes walk among us. They are ordinary people who sacrifice time away from family and friends to answer a higher call of service. These brave men and women run courageously into the field, placing their lives on the line to ensure the safety of others, to do noble works both at home and abroad. And for their services, we at Pro Wrestling Union say thank you and salute you. Pro Wrestling Union returns on September the 10th at the Union County Recreation Center for the second annual Ray Bitt Barber Memorial Parade of Champions. It's Military and First Responders Appreciation Night, where all service members get half off ticket admission. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday, September the 10th at the Union County Recreation Center, the second annual Ray Bitt Barber Memorial Showcase, the Parade of Champions.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing tonight? Look, welcome to the special version, or edition rather, of the Wrestling Wire. We have an exclusive interview tonight with the owner, promoter, the man behind everything at Pro Wrestling Union, Mr. Cole McAbee. We have a lot to discuss, and I tagged a boatload of people in this, and the reason is quite simple. If you're in any way, shape, or form involved in independent wrestling in the Southeast, this pertains to you. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. I had a heck of a time trying to get back home just to make it for this podcast. I know we talked about it online, but yeah, apparently there was like a gas main that broke. So it took me what normally takes me about like 35 minutes to get to my house, turned into like an hour and a half episode. So I just got back in. I went ahead and threw on the polo real quick and just got everything set up as quickly as I could. So,
gotcha. So I saw other people also talking about that. So yeah, it's some big gas line or something went out near a bridge.
I'm having a super hard time hearing you, Ron. It's like super, the volume super low, and I got to turn it all the way up. Hold on 1 second.
Let's see here.
I'm going to see if these earphones work.
Yeah, that would be a bonus. The other idea is I can just turn my microphone up.
Oh, you can do that? Let's try that. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I just turned it up to 200%.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Hold on 1 second.
Anybody in the audience, I know there's a handful of you out there watching. If you guys could let me know whether or not you can hear me, that'd be great. I haven't done anything different, honestly. I don't think. Let me check that.
Okay, now the question is, can you still hear me?
Oh, I can hear you great.
Okay, great. Then this works out just fine then.
Well, perfect. Yep,
Awesome.
Gary's here. Tiffany's here. They can hear us. Fantastic. Michael King can hear us. Welcome to the show, guys. All right, so let's start this off. Perfect time for the lights to want to go out here. I don't think it's the electricity. I believe it's just a bad bulb. So we're going to go ahead and put the announcement up that Chase put out. For those of you who don't know, Chase Emery holds 5 titles, 6 titles. How many titles does he hold in this area?
Okay. Besides the Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Championship, he's the 3-count heavyweight not the 3-count heavyweight champion, but the 3-count next level champion. I believe he's still the Battle Zone heavyweight champion, the U.S. champion. He was the Heritage Wrestling Alliance or Association heavyweight champion, but he had actually lost a match to the Scottish Warhammer, Mitch Robinson. So he at least had 3 at this time that I knew of.
I thought he also had one for.
Oh yeah, I am so sorry, Bob Keller. I am so sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, he did recently win the WrestleForce heavyweight title because I know that was something that he actually had won, but somehow I guess the decision was reversed at one point, and I completely forgot that he got his rematch. Just because there's so much going on here in the Carolinas, it's kind of hard to keep up with everything.
It is very hard to keep up with everything. But so here is the announcement that Chase Emery made. I I'm really not feeling reading all of this. Uh,
Right.
in short, he got the COVID vaccine. He had a reaction to it because he needed it to go to work for WWE. Um, inflammation on his heart, and it's going to take a while for them to to make sure he's okay. They don't want him doing anything strenuous for a while.
Right.
So there's that, and it's heartbreaking. In all honesty, I'll say it from even our perspective. Chase was everywhere.
Right.
Chase is AEW, going to work for WWE with this and all this other stuff, and all the different companies he's wrestled for in the region. A lot of them, across this bottom here. I don't believe he's worked for Gary in High Velocity, but I very well could be wrong. But other than that, he's worked for every other show here.
Right.
So I've seen him a lot, and it's uncanny, man. It sucks. And now we have to discuss Parade of Champions coming up September the 10th in Union, South Carolina.
Right.
Now, I only have. Never mind. What do we need to discuss about
Well,
Parade of Champions?
okay. Well, first, I will just talk a little bit more about Chase at this point. So basically, it was almost a week ago today. He called me very early Friday morning. At that point, he had already been admitted to the hospital. Um, he told me exactly what was going on. Um, and of course, I just gave him the advice that I could. I just told him, I said, you need to take your time to let everybody know what's going on with you. Uh, and whenever you're ready to make that announcement, you just let me know, and I will follow along in regards to what to do. And of course, Derek Vanderford, who is his manager, uh, was notified not that long after I was. So me and Derek have also had conversations, and we set up to where we were going to have a conversation with Chase and Derek pretty much right after 4th of July weekend. So that way, if anything else, Chase could spend time at home with his family, relax a little bit, enjoy the holiday. Derek Vanderford, who is recently married, has a young baby himself, just dealing into their own personal lives. So it gave them time to just be with his family and celebrate the way his family is going to celebrate during this 4th of July weekend. So we talked, and one of the big things is what to do about the heavyweight championship picture. Um, we had not announced who his opponent was supposed to be, and we won't get into that information because the match is not going to happen at this point. So with this, there was conversations in regards of what to do. Does Chase just forfeit the championship like we've had to do with the tag team titles before with the Heat Seekers? Um, and then Chase, just whenever he gets back, and he'll have to work his way up. But when a lot of us got together and we were discussing this with them, um, the thing about professional sports, especially combat sports, is that if a fighter who is a champion is not able to compete, they're not necessarily stripped of the championship. What happens is they go into a type of forfeit where they're no longer able to defend the championship. Therefore, a interim championship is then put in place, so that way the linear champion, which would be Chase Emery at this point, uh, would take the time, heal, get medically cleared, and then with that information, as soon as Chase is ready to go, his first match back would be with the reigning interim champion for Pro Wrestling Union.
Right.
So that goes into this first announcement in regards to what we're going to do. So I had already put out there not too long ago in regards to a number one contendership match between the Prince of Sports Entertainment, Drew Hood, DH and HD. He's got a whole bunch of nicknames: the Megastar, the Shines Brighter Than the Rest, the
Oh,
Conductor of the Hood, Hype Train, all that.
yeah.
I could quote it all day. It's very catchy.
The second longest entrance I have to announce is his.
Yes.
And third
And
is James Self Standard.
oh dear Lord. There's no telling what, and just to break off a little bit, there's no telling what James gets you to talk about, because he's so off the wall as it is. I imagine he's like a cartoon version of Apollo Creed from like Rocky Four, where he's like the Count of Monte Fisto and all this other stuff, but
Uh,
just in some kind of cartoonish language.
More like a promo version of SpongeBob.
Oh, I don't want to even go on that level. All right, so we had Drew Hood in one quarter, and on the other end, you had Peterbilt, who had made his return, racked up some wins, not only for Pro Wrestling Union, but went out to Texas, did some things with Christian Wrestling Federation and a few other places, and then, of course, some places over here in the Carolinas. So these two guys were pitted as the two guys to go after that number one contender spot. Because of the recent events with Chase having to step back for medical reasons, the number one contender spot is no longer available at this point. So we are now going to have, for the interim heavyweight championship, Drew Hood versus Peterbilt.
Very good. We've all seen both of those guys in action, and it's going to be a banger. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. And I got to talk about Drew Hood a little bit off of this. One of his recent wins, in fact, if anybody had watched the recent episode of Explosion that actually aired an hour earlier, just so that way we can coincide with this interview on YouTube on the Pro Wrestling Union page, you would have seen that Drew Hood defeated two-time former heavyweight champion Outlaw Randy Wayne. So that was a huge step up for him, and that was a huge basis to the decision making.
Right. Now, the only other stuff that I have for the Parade of Champions event, one thing that's already been announced is Brina Royce and Luca Daniels with the Sovereign will
That's
be
right.
there.
Carolina's champion, Luca
yes,
Daniels.
Carolina's champion, Luca Daniels. And I also have the special return of the Heat Seekers.
That's right.
Which, that's going to be huge.
Absolutely. And as of right now, there had been no other announcements in regards to matches yet. We had put out, which is, well, now the interim heavyweight championship match. And I believe I sent you that because there's also something else that's in there, something that we've been in the works with. I'll wait and see if you get it. Did you get it?
I pulled every file. You sent me 2 ads, which was the Heat Seekers and the Sovereign. You sent me the overall picture.
Okay.
And then,
oh, I guess you didn't get it.
Let me check.
And if you don't have it,
quick.
and if you don't have it, it's my bad. We'll actually have it up on the Pro Wrestling Union page once we're done with everything. So if you don't have it.
I believe this may be the one. Is this what we're talking about?
That's it.
There we go.
Yeah. Now, you might notice something that's a little bit different. Are you noticing?
Yeah. That is not the standard Pro Wrestling Union logo right there.
Well, that's not just a logo. That's actually the face of the new heavyweight title that was going to be presented. So in this case, since Chase is going to be the linear champion, he'll be holding on to the physical belt that he currently holds at this time. So the interim heavyweight champion will be rewarded with this new championship belt until time comes for an undisputed title match. So
Awesome.
brand spanking new championship that's going to be rewarded on September the 10th between Peterbilt or Drew Hood.
Gotcha. Now, there are some comments. We're gonna skip past the I can hear you ones because those are we already know. Let's see
Okay.
here. Mr. Childers says, "Hey, Mr. McAbee."
You don't have to call me Mr. McAbee.
Michael King said, "It's bullshit." Well,
It's bullshit.
that's to be determined. Yes, the wire's on. What's up, Cole? Said Scott Larson. How you doing? That's hashtag truth right there.
How you doing, Scott?
Always a fun show to watch. I know he's on kind of a hiatus of sorts for the summer. He's just going to be doing less shows throughout the summer. So
Nothing wrong
there's
with
that.
that.
No, man, nothing wrong with that at all.
I
Let's
mean,
see here. Oh, you mean what?
I was gonna say, I mean, technically, pro wrestling unions take a little break for the summer. Uh, got July and August that we're just chilling out.
That's right. Let's see
we
here.
we've been asked to run shows, but we're sticking to our guns and saying no, we're gonna take this break, so that way we got all this other stuff planned for the remainder of the year. So
That and you want it to pan out nice and fluid. You don't want anything to come off rushed or garbled because when you rush, you make mistakes, and
oh
it
yeah,
just it doesn't pan out.
there's that. Now we did add one show that was not planned for the schedule, but that was the recent not going down without a fight benefit show that we did over there in Union.
Right.
And I was not going to say no to that just because, we're trying to help raise money for a family with their son who has cancer. And it was a great experience, had a pretty good turnout. Um, and the overall benefit in itself, I hate that I missed the majority of it, but I ended up with traffic problems. It seems to be a problem with me living in Lexington, having to travel to Union,
Right.
because I got stuck in what should have been an hour and a half trip, got turned into a 4 hour escapade just because I was just trying to get from my home in Lexington, South Carolina, to the Union County Fairgrounds with the wrestling ring, and I got to miss a lot of the stuff that I was wanting to check out, like the car show, the auctions, the things that that the Casey family had for that event that I know that you
Right.
guys got to see a little bit earlier. Because I know you were telling me like, hey man, did you see the stock car? I'm like, no.
No, we were standing there. I think it was
I got to see
right.
it put up.
Yeah, that was it. That was all we got too. We got there at like
Oh,
one
never.
thirty.
Okay, well, never mind then. I thought like you got there earlier and watched them do its thing and all this
No,
other stuff. So
I
like when I
hadn't.
heard,
I hadn't been there 15, 20 minutes before you showed up. But
oh, okay,
yeah, Michael King said the Sovereign. Yes.
yes, the Sovereign's going to be there on September 10th, and Brito Royce, who has been contacting me a lot lately, and we've been talking steadily and things of that nature, just getting to know each other. He's an
Right.
interesting young man. He's a talented young man. I'll give him that. But he is a very interesting young man. The way that his mind works and some of the things that the way he perceives things, the way he's almost very philosophical in a way.
He's also very articulate. Um,
Yes,
I've I have had the pleasure of doing the car runs up and down north from here up to past Charlotte for the Thomas Scott show. Reno rides with me,
right.
and it's always great conversation. We do work on the way there, and we do even more work on the way back, and we work while we're there. So it's like it's constant building. His brain never stops. I shudder to say he's worse than I am about it.
In a weird way, he reminds me a lot of Cauliflower Chase Brown. Not in the way that he works and everything like, but I guess like in the way that his mind works. It's slightly
Yes.
different because if you know Chase Cauliflower Brown, who is a very intelligent individual, not just in the ring, but just outside, and he's very much into philosophy, just for everything in regards to art, life. I mean, everything is a philosophical lesson to him, and
Right.
but he'll sit there, or you'll just approach him and you'll just ask him something, and the next thing you know, he'll start this conversation about something that you didn't really prompt, but it'll get you thinking. And Brino has done that with me a few times.
Yep. And I've had those conversations with Cauliflower Chase Brown as well. No, another very interesting person, but he's yet again, like you said, extremely intelligent, awesome to talk to. Always good for a conversation.
And a fantastic wrestler too. Fantastic
phenomenal
wrestler.
worker. Yes. Facebook user, that would probably be Wanda. I believe that's going to be Wanda who said that.
Okay.
Said, I like it. She's talking about the belt.
Okay.
Tiffany Childress chimed in. Hey, Chase and Cole. Hey, look,
Tiffany.
that was a picture taken at the benefit show, actually. You
Yes,
recognize the room.
Yeah, inside of a building that was all of 155 degrees.
Yes, it was amazing to be,
Yeah.
It was an honor to roast with you, gentlemen.
Yes.
Not roast you, but to roast with you. Gary Benfield said, you fellas doing good tonight. Man, I'm doing just fine. So can't complain. I'm above ground, right?
In fact,
if you're below ground, you can't complain anyway.
That's true. Gary actually contacted me while I was stuck in that traffic. He showed me some things for some things coming up for his next show for High Velocity Wrestling next month. And I'll let Gary be the one to put that information out. But I will say this: I liked what I saw.
I believe I talked to Gary, I think yesterday for a very brief few minutes. But I've been in, we've been touching base back and forth. I'm really excited for the next HVW show as well. Not 100% sure what all is going to happen there. I just know it's going to be a fun time. Let's see here.
He'll put out the announcements real soon.
Oh yeah, what happened to Chase was BS. Yes, it was. It was bullshit. I agree.
Now, do you mean BS as in what's happened to him is, just BS in regards to the effects of what happened when he got the vaccination? Or are you trying to say that he's BS? Because I've had a few people that have approached me, no joke. Like when I was actually in Union for the 4th of July celebration. I know you saw the video that I put up about the fireworks display that went off way too soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was not intentional. I was like, I'm just gonna film some fireworks, and then I saw that one come up, and it just went, Pwah! And I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna stop filming now. So, but
Right.
several people from Union, of course, they recognized me. They came up to me. They had a lot of people that asked about Chase. They were like, is he out of the hospital and everything? They were concerned. Hey, if you talk to him, can you say we're thinking about him? And I got a few people that came up to me and they said, hey, how are you doing? I said, I'm doing good. And they said, you know what? I think he's faking. And I'm like, excuse me, who are you talking about? They said, Chase Emery. Him and Derek Vanderford, they're cooking up something. And I'm like sitting there trying to tell them it's not a hoax. This is not some wrestling storyline, okay? Or anything like that. This is a legit thing. And I legitimately had to sit down and have a conversation with these two individuals. I did it over the phone because Derek's in Buffalo, Chase is over in North Carolina. I live in Lexington. There was no way for us to get together in person, and of course, I'm not going to try to make Chase travel anywhere, especially when he needs to be close to his family and support system as he's taking care of himself. So,
agreed.
But yeah, you would not believe some of the. I mean, like, I had one person just like, it's horse shit, and I'm like, yeah, it's bad news for Chase. He's like, no, he's horse shit, and so is Derek Vanderford. You're getting played, son. And I'm like,
oh.
But you know what? I think it's great that we still get that kind of reaction from folks,
Exactly. And it doesn't matter whether they're in the business or out of the business, the reaction still plays, the reaction still works. Which one was it? How many people, I think 3 promoters called me when Brino and I were talking about retiring Romano? That was such hook, line, and sinker. It's like, got ya. But in today's market, in this case, Michael King was saying the vaccine effects, which, yes, that's what we're talking about, the vaccine effects. And it's very unfortunate that happened. Chase Emery has actually joined the chat room. He said, "Thanks for working with me, Derek Vanderford, through these difficult times." Dude,
You're welcome.
yeah, I haven't done anything, but if you need anything, you know how to get a hold of me. It's really not that hard. And I'll do whatever I can to help you out.
Yeah. And Derek and I have not always seen eye to eye on things. We've known each other for so long and everything like that. There's been times we've been on the same page, we've been on the opposite side of the page. He's been in the right, I've been in the wrong, and then vice versa, that sort of thing. And it's different when you're in the position that I'm in. And it used to be the reverse. He used to be a boss to me at one point, and I gave him a hard time. And now it's the shoes on the other foot. Now I'm in this position. I'm trying to do things the right way. Derek has his own way of doing things, and that's perfectly fine. But it was actually really good that I could sit there and talk to him, and me and him could see eye to eye on the care for another human being. You know,
Right.
he represents Chase as a professional wrestler, but also at the same time, he honestly cares enough for Chase. He wants to see Chase succeed, and not just in the ring. He wants to see him succeed in every aspect of life. That's the kind of relationship that they have. And of course, I want those same things for Chase too, because I honestly believe one of these days, like, he talked about he was having to get those vaccines to work for WWE. He wasn't just doing like one show, he was actually signed up for two.
Right.
So,
Well,
you
most
know,
most of the promising young talent in this area that does get those deals get multi-show contracts out of it.
yeah, they do. And some only get one.
Oh, really?
Some, like, if they're in the area between Greenville to Columbia, or like Columbia to Charleston or something like that, some of the times they only just take some of the local guys, or the ones that are considered more local guys in the area. And once they move on to the next city, they go for those local guys there. So when somebody gets picked up a couple of times, that's kind of a good thing. It may not lead to anything, it might lead to something though.
Right.
And like I said, Chase, he's freaking talented as a professional wrestler, and has come in such a long way from the very first match he ever had with us with Pro Wrestling Union, that I just just being a straight shoot here, I think he has what it takes to be in the big time.
Right. Oh, I
So
agree. There's a select handful, and that I believe can make it and
yeah,
do it. And Chase is one of that handful.
yeah. But
I mean,
Chase is gonna bounce back from this. I know he
oh,
will.
I agree entirely. Let's see here. Cole, come visit us in August. Gary said
Yep.
that. All right. Well, you just said
Ah,
yep. You just said
alrighty.
yep. You just said
Yep.
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 You said yep
Yeah, I said yep. You
because
know why?
she wants you to do a jumping Jeff Farmer impersonation.
Oh man, I'm gonna do it for her, because they gave her and Mr. Thunder gave me a custom made Jumpin' Jeff Farmer T-shirt. No joke, they sent it to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I got to do the announcer first. Bear with me, guys. We're gonna go to Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Let's go to that interview now. Jeff, you had a run-in with Motley. Yep. And let me tell you something. I don't like it when things aren't going my way. You turn the tables on me, Motley Cruz. You turn the tables on me in the wrong way. And now you got me mad now. So I'm challenging you, Motley Cruz. Come see me in that ring. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to go full force. If nobody knows who the hell Jumpin' Jeff Farmer is, get your ass on YouTube. Look up the best promo of all time.
All right. It's like James Ellsworth did a line of coke and and grew a chin. and cut a promo. That's what that
No, no,
that is
man.
exactly what that is.
Here, you know what? Here's the thing, though. If you ever get to watch the actual matches and everything, Jeff Farmer, I say best promo ever. No, he was honestly one of the worst, but he was actually a really good worker in the ring. That was the thing, though. It was just he did not have it on the mic. And the thing is when WWE did the they had like these little video vignettes that they did for just the WWE network. Southpaw Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
Uh, Rusev, or Miro, as he's known now for AEW, he slightly based his mannerisms off of Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. And it was obvious.
Okay.
Because he would keep going, yep, yep.
Damn, I never noticed that.
Yeah, so that's where a lot of that came from.
Gotcha. Now, Gary Benfield said, nah, what's bullshit is he was forced to take the vaccine in order to work for the WWE. Well, I'm not going to go into the debate with that. I'm not either, because in my line of work, I was around a lot of people in and out of a lot of houses. So in order to protect myself and my family, I did what was necessary, whatever the case may be. That's what I did is irrelevant. You know, what Cole did with his job in his place is irrelevant. When you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar company that wants to utilize you as a talent, or, you know, from the top to the bottom in that place or any place, they have to protect themselves as well. So I mean, it is what it is. Trust me, I don't agree with a lot of things that have been said about this thing in the last 2.5 years, but it is what it is.
The one thing I will say, and I know that Chase did put this when he put the announcement out, because I know Gary said forced to take it. In all honesty, Chase was not forced into it. He had the option. He could have said no. I mean, would that cost him the gig working in WWE? Maybe, most likely. But he says it in his post that it was his choice. And that's always been my stance when it came to the vaccinations. If you honestly don't want it, I don't feel like anybody should be forced into it. But if you feel like you need it, like I felt like I needed it, I did it, but I did it for no other reasons but other than for myself. And that was it. I wasn't saying like, oh, let's do it. The government said no. I was just kind of thinking, I was like, I've seen people that have gotten it. They got pretty sick. And then there was people that also got it, and it was just almost like they had cold-like symptoms.
Right.
And I got,
you've had it. I've had it.
I had it, and I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, it wasn't as bad on me even after getting the vaccine. My wife felt a lot worse when it got to her, but influenza A kicked my ass.
Right.
I would have rather gone through that bout of COVID again before going through that flu that I had, and that one really put me out.
Right. Now, we're going to continue on here. Brino Royce, you know, we spoke of the Rolls Royce of professional wrestling. He said, gents, how you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Brino?
Gavin Tyler said, Big Cole McAbee.
Little Jimmy.
That's right. I knew it was coming the moment I saw his comment.
Little Jimmy.
Timothy Godfrey, gentlemen, hope you're both well. Of course we are.
Yeah.
And then Gary Benfield said, any young man in his position would have. We will agree to disagree, my brothers. Yes, sir.
And that's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. You know, it is, like I say, it is what it is. I mean, unfortunately, you can't pull it back out of there. So it doesn't work that way.
I was going to make a comment, but I'm not going to.
I was trying to.
I know, but you said pull it back out of there, and I'm just going to let it go.
Well, yeah, you can't do it with that either.
There's kids watching. Little Jimmy's watching.
Dude, little Jimmy has an internet connection and a smartphone. Or are you going to teach him? He said every time.
Dear Lord, I always got that feeling that I'm going to be one of those parents when it comes time for my kids to have that talk. Going off subject, that I'm going to say, I know that you guys might know some stuff. How about you guys tell me what you know? I'll fill in the rest, and the next you know, I'm going to be showing up with a pad and a pen. Like, you can do that, and just taking notes.
Well, so in all honesty, that has already kind of happened here. And well, except for the pen and the piece of paper part, that didn't happen at all. The questions
How
have
old?
come up, and
Oh, I
I've
was
had
gonna.
to answer questions.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I was gonna say
that's
your
and you've
children your
seen.
children are not old enough. They're not
I'm
old enough.
well aware. I am well aware. Do you want to talk the next level of pissed off? You guys, you've seen me aggravated. You haven't seen me pissed. I
And
was pretty.
and you have a daughter, so I can only imagine that's that much worse.
That's the one that asked the questions.
I've already processed that enough. If it would have been the little one, I would have tripped out.
I'd
I
have
won't
just
lie.
laughed at him. I'd have just
Yeah.
laughed at him. Oh Christ! But anyway, so
Back on topic.
back on topic here. Timothy tried to outclass me. Hold, gentlemen, sincerely, I hope the two of you are met well with my greeting. Yes,
Yes.
we
Thank
are,
you, Bruno.
Bruno. Let's
All
see
right.
here. I hate Chase had to shut it down due to something out of his control in some part. Exactly. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Gary Benfield said, Chase Emery, get well, my friend. Prayers up. Of course, man. We've all been thinking highly and saying our best for Chase. It's an awkward situation to be in.
Yeah. And something that I saw, and I have to agree with this. Matty G was the one that actually put this out there. I think he may have mistyped something, or a smartphone changed the word around. But I think what he was trying to say was Chase Emery out for 6 months, still wrestler of the Carolinas for the year 2022.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fairly confident in that assessment.
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident. Well, speaking of, I also made sure to tag the people who hold that. Like I said, dude, I tagged like 30 something people in this
Nice.
because I wanted to make sure everybody got the opportunity to understand what was going on. Bob Keller, everybody that I know he's worked for that I have on my friends list, the competitors for Pro Wrestling Union, people associated with Pro Wrestling Union, and the companies below here as well. So
Nice.
I made sure everybody had the opportunity to hear exactly what we knew and what direction at least you were taking. I did see that in August at their August show for, give me just one moment.
Is it 3
For
count?
3 count, yeah, for 3 count pro wrestling at Aftershock, Chase Emery to relinquish the next level title and address his future. Now that is August 27th.
Right.
I have to check my calendar for that one.
I already know one show that I'm going to be at in August, and I can go ahead and tell you it is High Velocity Wrestling.
Yeah, I will be there. Oh yeah, you will be there for sure. Because
we'll let Gary talk about that.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some things to be said about that one.
We'll just say that 2 members of the Pro Wrestling Union roster will be on that show. I'm not there to necessarily support them. Can't say that. I'm there because an opportunity presented itself, and those 2 parties for Pro Wrestling Union and 2 parties on High Velocity Wrestling's end, they wanted to go. Me and Gary, we talked, and he'll fill in the rest.
Very good. I have a few comments, and then I'm actually going to add another video from a Pro Wrestling Union and Union alumni. So let's see here. Corey Fortenberry, how you doing, sir? And Michael.
I was going to say, if nobody knows who that is, you may know him by his wrestling name. That is Jackson Cage, which is coincidentally the name of my son, my oldest son. But that's not my son. Okay?
No.
Make it clear.
Yes, this is true. Michael King says, I may be at HVW August 27th. That would be awesome.
Well, if you're there, we'll see you there.
Yep. And then Harry Bernard Taylor of the Straight Up Wrestling Show, may the healing hands of the Lord be on Chase at this time. Yes, sir. I agree.
And I'm sure that Chase greatly appreciates that, Harry.
Right. Now, and I did tag Chase and I did tag Derek in this as well. And I will straight up tell you, if either of those two men want to come on, you say it, and I will send you the invite, no problem. But
yeah.
Next, the very next thing we gotta do is check this video out from the one and only Black Cat Dion Johnson.
September the 10th, the second annual Ray Bit Barber Memorial Parade of Champions. I don't need to tell the world what Bit meant to me because everybody knows that he was a brother from another mother to me. I've been in this business 31 years and he was there from the beginning. And he's still with me today. Even when I doubt myself, Bit was always there to encourage me. So right now, this old broke down, beat up body, I've doubted myself. But now, Bit's spoken to me and told me, you need to challenge yourself. So at the second annual Bit Barber Memorial Parade of Champions, Dion Johnson is going to get up out of the chair, work out a little bit, and he's going to challenge himself. So PWU, you can find anybody that can get in there, in that square circle with me and test me, push me to the limit because I need it. So September the 10th, PWU, you find somebody for Dion Johnson to do his thing with and tear the house down because I need to know if I still got it, if I still got something left in the tank. So if you can get that done, we're going to rock the house right there in Union, South Carolina, September the 10th at the second annual Ray Bit Barber Memorial Parade of Champions.
Now, that was a heck of a promo. It really was.
That's not somebody that's just trying to sound cool or anything like that. That's a guy that's speaking from the heart. And I know that for a fact.
He didn't have that normal snap and pizzazz in his statement. So I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah. You never had the chance to meet Bit Barber. Bit was like, he was like one of the coolest guys ever. Never met a stranger, to be honest. That's the way he treated people. So once he got to talking to you, it was almost like he knew you forever. He made you feel comfortable. He made you feel welcome. He made you feel like family. And he always helped us out on all the wrestling shows here in Union. And him and Dion were friends like since high school and all that stuff. So when we lost him, well, it's been 2 years now, but when we lost him, it was a big hit, and it was even bigger hit for Dion. So I know that this show means a lot to him, and with this, where he's saying find somebody to challenge him, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people knocking on the door for that, because some people can look at Dion Johnson and think 30-plus year vet and all this other stuff. Okay, he might be over the hill. I tell you what, when Dion gets that fire turned on, he's on fire, and he will blaze through anybody. So we'll see what kind of opportunities come knocking at the door, and see who wants to answer that challenge. And as soon as I know, you will know.
Fantastic. And as soon as I know, that following Sunday, the show will know. Everybody out there in the world will know.
Right.
That's how we'll handle it.
Yeah.
So let's see here. We're going to catch up on some comments. Timothy Godfrey, I should be able to attend HVW. Well, you can ride with me. That's fine.
Yep, you can do that, Tim.
Yep.
See, look. Yep.
Yep. Chase is watching. We need to hear from him. That's entirely up to Chase and Derek. I'm not
Yeah.
forcing a damn thing on anybody. That's up to them.
Yeah, I'm not either. But I mean, if Chase wants to come on here for a moment or wants to just kind of go ahead and take over, that's perfectly fine. Because I know a lot of people have been wanting to speak to him, and you know, just kind of wish him well and everything like that. But yeah, if Chase wants to come on here, do so by all means. Ask for the invite.
That's up to him.
Yeah.
Keith Carter said, "We'll keep Chase Emery in my prayers." I'm sure he thanks you for that. Michael
He's an
King
awesome
with
guy.
yeah, he is. In the spirit of the movie Hot Rod, King Enterprises offers its full catalog of resources to Chase Emery so he can get back to 100% in order to finally have that match with the Rolls Royce of wrestling.
Oh,
That's
that is a high verbose way of just saying that he wants to have Chase and Brino go toe to toe, man to man.
yes.
I understand that language, Michael. It probably went over a lot of other people's heads, but it didn't go through. It didn't go over mine. It hit me right here, and I see you.
Oh, if you only knew the half of it, if you only knew the half of it, I'll just leave it that way. Look here, take that. Let's see. That sounds like a deal. We'll arrange it. Hell yeah, I got plenty of parking. Plenty of room to park shit at, so we're good. Yard. Plenty of places to stash cars or bury them if I need to. That's the great part. Oh, let's see here. We are caught up on comments. Mr.
Cool.
McAbee, is there anything further?
No, just basically everybody just stay tuned for more announcements. It's right here at the beginning of July, so we'll kind of trickle those out a little bit by little. So we're not going to throw everything at you all at once. We still got the rest of this month, all of August to right there going into the first week of September. So we got plenty of time to get you the information. The only thing I will say is that remember, it's Saturday, September the 10th. It's in Union, South Carolina at the Union County Recreation Center.
Yes. And then, so you've got that, and then there's Uniquely Union.
Next
weekend.
Yeah, the very next weekend, it's a hometown festival called Uniquely Union. It's just all sorts of different things for kids to do, barbecue. I think there's like a pageant thing going on. Pageants aren't my thing. That's my wife's thing. She used to be a former Miss South Carolina contestant. Yeah.
Yep. I can believe it.
You know what? I can gloat. Because
yes, you can.
This does not equate to gorgeous women coming towards you. Okay. So.
Oh man.
I'm waiting for somebody to be like, "Oh no, you're handsome." That's not what I'm looking. I'm not fishing for compliments. I've always thought I was an ugly guy. So.
Oh, let's see here. Timothy said sounds similar to the pavilion. Oh, I fixed the parking situation there already. If you don't believe me, call Jimmy.
Big Jimmy.
Yeah,
not little Jimmy.
Yeah, call Big Jimmy, not Little Jimmy. Hell, you can ask Little Jimmy too. Let's see.
But yeah, let's see. Anything else? Let's see. I shall be there.
I shall be there at all your shows as always, Mr. Cole.
Yes.
Awesome.
That sounds good.
Michael King said, I used to judge pageants in Western Washington. That's interesting.
Okay. I did not know that.
Oh, Brino Royce said, nah, beards are in now. You're good. So there's your compliment.
Oh, okay. Well, I've had the beard for a while, so I mean, you know.
Right.
And I still have my hair. So, or somewhat.
Yeah. Hey man, look. It is what it is. They make razor blades every day.
I'll buy them. I haven't bought them in a while.
No, I still do. It depends on the circumstance. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Not every day or not every time it's worth going to the barber for a straight razor cut. Not
Hey,
always
man.
worth that.
I prefer that, man. When you find somebody that knows what they're doing, it's awesome.
Oh, I do, but I just don't feel like spending that much money per month. I haven't figured out if it's a write-off yet or not.
No, I don't think you can claim as well, I guess if you worked in television and you could prove that, you could use it as a.
Oh, no. Hey, we're on YouTube and we're on other platforms, and so I can see it being a possibility.
Give it a shot.
It's
So,
I'm gonna try. I got the receipts.
yep. I mean, you could do that, I guess.
I'll find out
But-
if it works, and then I'll let you know.
But just to go ahead and close things out, once again, September 10th, Union, South Carolina, Union County Recreation Center, second annual Ray Bitt Barber Memorial Showcase, the Parade of Champions. I believe Chase Emery will still make an appearance. We're still working some things out. We at least worked out the interim title situation. So that way Chase knows that when he's medically cleared, he can always come back and get the first shot at whoever is the reigning interim champion. And we'll crown that on September 10th between Drew Hood and Peterbilt. That's going to be an awesome addition for that night. We got the Heat Seekers. They're making their return. We got the Sovereign. So you've got Carolina's champion Luka Daniels. You got Brino Royce. They're on the card. We'll release match information eventually. And as you mentioned, we have Uniquely Union the very next week on September the 18th. Yep, 18th.
It's on the 18th now, not the 17th.
No, you're right. No, 17th. I'm sorry.
Right. I was hopeful. I got a I got a hot shot that weekend.
You got a hot shot that. Don't. You know what? I'm almost 20 years in this business. I'm telling you right now, don't hot shot.
Charlotte to Union. Charlotte to Union.
Who is Thomas Scott running that day?
Oh, it's actually Concord that day, I believe. Memorial. There's a memorial show being announced. You and I'll touch base on that one.
Well, yeah, fine.
But yeah, I'm working both. That's earlier in the day, and yours is like 5:00 in the evening or something. I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm leaving at the end to get to the beginning. So
okay, that's cool.
It's like right there on time too. It's within 15 minutes. So provided 85 isn't messed up, I'll be okay.
Yeah, Charlotte's not that terribly far from Union. So, well, you said you're coming from Concord, so add an extra 15 minutes, I think.
Like I said, provided traffic isn't that bad, I'll be 15 minutes early, long enough to switch into my, change out of the purple shirt and into the gold shirt, and here off to the races we go.
And if not, I'm just going to be like, no time, just go.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna be
I'll change driving down the interstate. I don't give a damn. I'll figure it out. Wouldn't be the first time.
I don't want to know about you changing clothes in the car while you're driving, sir.
Hey, man, I've worked in some really nasty houses. We'll just put it that way.
So much I can say about this. I'm going to let it go.
You're good. You're good. Let's see.
Little Jimmy's still watching.
So we're currently in the month of July, so let's lay out our way all the way out to September, because I'm pretty sure we're involved with every one of these shows coming up. So let's go ahead and just knock this out. We've got AWL 52 Reasons coming up July 23rd. I am super excited for this show. There's a birthday party, a rock concert, and professional wrestling. What more could you want?
Spaghetti.
And you'll get spaghetti too, because that's on the menu.
Yes, it is.
Buck Carter just joined us and chimed in saying, "Let's go, Cole." What is up, Buck Carter? How you doing, sir?
Buck is my dude. That is
yes.
That is my friend. I love Buck to death.
Yes. Oh, I have a new poster I haven't been able to add yet. Uh, let's see here. Let me fix that. I
Okay,
knew I was
well,
forgetting something. It always happens to me. It's okay. I have a great memory. I can't
well,
remember
I
anything.
was also going to say because I see that you got the logo for his pro wrestling. I saw that they've got their poster out for their show at the end of the month, which is their 1 year anniversary, right?
Yes. Yes, it is. And actually,
See,
that's what I'm getting right now.
okay.
I just had to save the image from my message.
Sorry, spoilers.
You're good. You're good. See, there we go. His Pro Wrestling, sponsored by Phil's Steakhouse.
Seeing some familiar faces on there. I see Luca. I
Yeah,
see Brino. I see Lucky Ali, Kay Holiday, Dion Johnson, Rob Killjoy, Antonio Morgan. Got some
Jackson Sane,
Jackson Sane.
Elijah Proctor.
Proctor. Yeah, so you
Let's see.
got some
Yeah,
good people on the card.
yep. And for the guys you don't know, up on the top, you got Squeaks the Clown. You got the hardest hitting man. That is Dirty Joe. Uh, I see Brian Bullitt and Chris James, the role model. Chris James
Now,
was one I couldn't remember.
now, were you assuming that I didn't know the guys in the back, or just that people didn't know in general who the guys in the back were?
People in general, not just
Oh,
you,
okay.
but people in general.
I was gonna say I know who everybody is on this poster. I have at least met them once.
Okay, I didn't
Yes,
know. Gotcha. But
within
yeah,
within within 20 years, you get to meet a lot of people. So
dude, within 3 years, I've met an ass load.
yeah,
It's insane. Um, One of the coolest things, believe it or not, about the charity show we just did, even though it was hot as hell.
yeah,
Randy Carpenter was there, who's been a big follower of. Oddly enough, he was a follower of the real wrestling community, the Facebook page that I'm an admin for and do a lot of memes and goofy shit for.
right,
But he was also a local here, and he knew of CPW and Pro Wrestling Union. And I was
yeah,
like, that's freaking awesome. So he was there. It
yeah.
was the first chance I'd actually got to say hey to him.
I think Randy's actually come to a couple of the PWU shows. To be honest with you,
It was the first one I got the chance to say hey.
okay,
That I kind of knew who I was talking to.
yeah, because I know other times that you've been coming in, you've been working your butt off, and we greatly appreciate that. So
Dude, it ain't really work if you love what you're doing, you know?
that's true. That is true.
It's
Actually, I actually had a conversation with somebody the other day, and I told him, I said, "Hey, man, promoting and booking suck sometimes. For me, it's a labor of love and it's a labor of respect. That's what keeps me going."
right. And if you ever notice, whenever you're discussing some important ideas or concept, I'm not too far out of earshot. I pay attention when guys like you talk. I've heard Zach Thomas talk, Jimmy, Buck. I listen to everybody talk and I hear all the little nuances of, how to conduct certain things and how to handle certain things. Same goes with Thomas. I've been around Gary. I was around Gary for the one show, but
Yeah,
seeing how these guys handle it and how they do stuff different.
yeah, because I mean, I've actually had to pull a second generation superstar who currently works for NWA. He was upset about something, and all I did was just pull him to the sides of the corner, and I said, "Tell me exactly what happened. Let's talk about it." He got it off his chest. We were able to go ahead and get another party involved to get stuff resolved. Everybody was good to go at the end of the night. And, sometimes when you got grown men who are hectic and really wanting to go at each other's throats, at the end of the day, we're still civilized human beings. And that's something that I try to let people know because, the way that this business works, sometimes I don't want to reveal too much. I just want to say that sometimes the ego or the character gets grazed, bruised, and sometimes the the attitude kind of takes over a little bit, and you start to lose your cool. And when stuff like that happens, it's not good for anybody. For the
Right.
person that's getting mad, for the person that's mad, who's has had the anger towards them, and of course everybody else that's like, especially like in my position, because if I have no control over that locker room, it becomes chaos. And when that happens, everything starts falling apart.
Right. Buck said he's doing good. That's fantastic.
Love Buck.
Timothy Godfrey said, so ready for AWL. Hell yeah. Keith Carter says, stay off of 85. You have to get somewhere in a hurry. Take 77 south, then 9 and 49 across to Union. I'll check the GPS on that.
He
I will
knows.
check. Yeah. I
He
will
knows.
check the GPS on that. Look, in the end, it's going to come down to whatever the GPS says is the fastest.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm going to go.
Yeah, because
But-
I was going to say, since I used to live in Union anyway, anytime we ever went to Charlotte, we always took 49.
And went through
up
Rock
like
Hill.
went through, like we're going towards Rock Hill, Clover, and all that. So very familiar with that area.
We came through there when we were coming back from Maryland last year.
Yeah.
And it was a shit show. 85 was shut down. That was
85
backed up.
sucks.
Yeah, 85 is the most abysmal highway on the entire East Coast that I know of. And I've been on 95 all the way up into PA, all the way down to Florida. Don't care. 81, 83, 495, 295, 395. It's irrelevant. 85 is the shit.
I hate 85. In fact, not that I've been in that many car accidents or anything like that, but every vehicle accident -2 that I've ever been in have all been on 85. And not that I do anything different or anything like that. It's just the people that drive on 85, apparently it's like they're obligated to drive around with a blindfold on because they don't pay attention to anything. There's like the worst driving ever. Like I've actually seen a full-on semi riding right there onto the shoulder of the road in full-on traffic, just trying to get around people. It gets bad.
Right. There was a slight hang up on 85 today, and guess what? It was a semi went off the road, over the ditch, and into a mulch pile. It was sitting like this, like the hood, the tractor part was up like that. The trailer part was still straight. It was awkward. I'm like, I don't know who's cleaning that up, but it ain't me. Gotta go.
Yeah,
I just kept on going. But so that was the his poster. Moving into August 27th. Yeah, August 27th. Sorry about that. Chase, we'll be in North Carolina, brother. We will be at High Velocity Wrestling Inferno. There's way more stuff to come about that. I only have 2 of the 3 matches announced for we already know September 10th and 17th. We've already talked about those, but September 24th. September is a busy month for all of us.
Yep.
CPW makes its return. This is going to be a banger right here. Fatal 4-way elimination.
Yeah, I am so looking forward to this matchup right here. I really am. In fact, James Johnson actually put out a little post. My lights are flickering right here. We got a storm above us. But James Johnson actually shared a post where I guess we've just been Facebook friends for 3 years and everything like that. He shared that today, and I thought that was really cool and awesome of him. I love James to death.
Great person. Yep.
Oh, yeah. But I'm going to tell you, I'm the ones I'm looking forward to seeing to the most, in all honesty, is the other guys.
Yep. So I haven't got to see them work in person. I've seen Stuart work in person in the past. He's awesome. So I've never seen Keith Mack. I can tell you one thing. I've seen Selena Rose take more ass whipping in one match than I saw everybody else take in one night. So I don't care what anybody says. She is tough as nails.
Oh no, she's tough. She's definitely tough. I've seen it. I've seen some of the stuff that she's done, like with Ella Envy, like the feud that they had, that basically just kind of transitioned all through North Carolina, and like I don't even know if you saw the video, but like she just showed up one day. Selena did, like with Singapore cane and all this other stuff, just ready to go and just like beat the teetotal hell out of her. And plus she's been going in there. She's been getting in the ring with men, and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and not just like small men or anything like that. She's going in there with like guys who are, you know, some of the best talent out there. Her and James have wrestled over at Action Pat Wrestling in Chester and won the tag team titles from All World No Soul,
So, yep.
who is one of the best tag teams in the Southeast.
Oh, I agree.
You know, you know, and we've got a lot of great tag teams out there, including the High Velocity Wrestling tag team champions, the New Age Villains, which
Right.
circling back to AWL, we know that match is going to be taking place.
Yes, All Worm No Soul versus the New Age Villains. That's going to be an awesome matchup as well.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Gunnar Rose versus Buggy Wright. Gunnar Rose just posted a workout video where he was doing deadlifts. I guess I'm not sure, but
Had
I'm
some
not
video.
I'm not a gym guy, so I don't know what any of that shit is. You can tell, but if the kid's staying in shape, he's got his work cut out for him against Buggy Wright, man, because that kid can move.
Oh yeah, I'm very impressed with Buggy. In fact, he's actually going to be part of. I'll go ahead and make this announcement now. He will be part of the September 10th show. We got that cleared up not too long ago, but we'll put the announcements out there.
Very good. And once again, that's going to be CPW Takeover. As you can see, Chase is on the poster. Unfortunately, he won't be there. Well, he may be there, but he won't be competing. We've got Lodi in the back here. We've got Cam Jackson, #1 himself. You've got the Outlaw Randy Wayne, Derek Vanderford, and Black Cat Deion Johnson.
Yeah. So it's good to return to CPW. They still held me up as the commissioner, so that's really awesome that I'm still getting to be part of this in that capacity. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. When I got back into wrestling a couple of years ago, when I had my hiatus, I was kind of ready to pack it in until I got that call from David Cody about getting booked for CPW, and this was like before he departed as their booker. And Buck and Jimmy, of course, were there. Not going to go into details over what happened with David and Buck and Jimmy. That everything got squashed eventually, but I told each of the guys, I said, "Hey, I'm here to do a job. I'm not here to pick sides. I'm gonna be what you guys need me to be here." All three of the guys respected me for that, and I thought it was just okay. Well, this was fun. Hopefully you guys will keep me in mind next time. Next thing you know, I kept being asked back, and I loved working there. And then when I retired from the ring, because I knew that my body just couldn't take it anymore. Buck was the one that reached out to me, and he's like, "I can't let you go." He said, "You got a good mind. I like you. We're going to think of something for you to do." And that's when he offered me the commissioner's position. And I was a little hesitant at first because I just came off from being a heel in CPW as Cruel Cole McAbee.
Right.
But so I was like, I don't know how these fans are going to take to me because, they looked at me as like, this is a guy we were booing.
Right.
But I mean, they got behind me. So, I turned up the charm a little bit, and I'm one of the few commissioners I could say is like very authoritative because, a lot of the guys, like whenever Tommy Django would try to step up to me, which is hilarious.
Yes.
He'd be like, "Yeah, say that to my face." I said, "I would, but I can't get down on my knees."
Right.
He didn't like that, but Tommy can get over it.
Yeah, Tommy will be okay.
He'll
But
be all
at
right.
either way, Buck did say that it's going to be a good show. Yes, it is. Or if you were saying this show's a good show, thanks. I think it is. I try to make it that way.
I think a lot of the stuff that's coming up here, and that's coming from AWL, CPW, what Thomas Scott's been doing with Pro Wrestling Savage, and even this poster that I just saw with his pro wrestling looks really good. I know the high velocity wrestling is going to be really good, and I'm excited for what we got going on with Pro Wrestling Union. So I think there's a lot of great stuff going on,
Right.
and we're not even mentioning everything that's going on in the Carolinas. So, but
No.
just what we got here is definitely
This
enough to get people interested.
this is about half of what's going on in the Carolinas, or less
Yeah.
than half. But
I would say less than half.
it's less than half. But you know what I've come to figure out? People here lately have been playing follow the leader. They've been following me and finding good in ring action and good shows. So my suggestion is people keep on following, because I'm going to lead you to some of the best shows in the Carolinas. You heard Scott Larson say it on Saturday. I was trying to change my oil because I was having to go work on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he said, Ron works for these people. You want to talk good shows? Just go talk to him because he works for all of them. I'm like, well, thanks, Scott. He wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
I appreciate who I work for. I'm grateful for the companies I get to work for. But
I mean, and here's the thing, and we got to meet each other over at CPW. That's where you got your start. Well,
right.
technically, you got your start at a benefits show before CPW, but
yes.
to get that further start, to get that just consistency, it was CPW. So I got to see you grow on top of everything. So that's always
Right.
been interesting to just kind of watch people grow as they blossom, or if they stumble or anything like that, and what you can do to try to help them out. But nah, you've done really well for yourself. So
I appreciate that, and it's an honor to work for you. I will put it that way.
I don't know if it's an honor, but I'll accept it.
It's whether anybody else likes it or not, it's irrelevant to me. It's an honor for me to work for you. I appreciate what you do with the veterans, the first responders, the benefit shows, all the things you do for the community shows. And there's a lot of wrestling promotions who try to do the same. Some of them pull it off. Not all of them can. So
Right.
when you're running the way you're running and doing it the way you're doing it, that's why I said it's an honor to work for you, because I appreciate the effort you put into it. I appreciate a lot of the effort that you take the time to talk to your guys, not just me and not just, the champ. You take the time to talk to everybody and make sure everybody's consistent and set.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things there. That can be said about the majority of the people I work for, though. But in this case, I'm talking to you, so it's being said to you. So
I appreciate it, honestly.
Let's see here. Bug Carter said he grew quick. I kind of had to. I appreciate that, Buck. I just respect you. You're a good fellow. I think she's got to be talking about you. She's got to be talking about you.
She's talking about you.
If she doesn't bring the bar of soap to the next show I'm working, then this whole thing was for naught. That's a gag between her and I. Oh, let's see here. Keith Carter said, "Thank you, Cole McAbee, for all you do for Pro Wrestling Union."
Thank you.
And that's why I work for him. Great communicator. See, but man,
thank you, Tom.
At any rate, it is getting to be that time. I can hear some random screaming and thumping around the house, so I know that means my kids are off the chain. So I'm gonna go take care of that.
That's fine, because I actually kind of have the house to myself this evening, because grandparents wanted the babies, and my wife's she also works as a wedding coordinator and planner and all that stuff. So she's got stuff that she's going to be doing this weekend, and she's going to have to meet with her bride and everything tomorrow. So she was like, "Well, I'm just going to go ahead and go down tonight." So after I get off here, I'm actually going to call her to make sure that she got to where she needed to safe, because she's only been on the road for just a little bit over an hour. So
Fantastic. And Missy Childress, she cleared it up where she said, I'm talking about Cole McAbee. And then she said, Ron, you all right?
You
Oh, man.
all right? Well,
But thank you,
Ron,
everybody, for tuning in.
thank you.
Cole, thank you for joining us. Once again, best wishes to Chase Emery.
Yes.
Speedy recovery, young man. And, you know, this ain't nothing but a hurdle. And that boy's a track runner. So he's going to pass this joker up, and he's going to keep right on getting it.
Yeah. So even though we know we're not going to see him in the ring for the next few months, I'm definitely looking forward to see what he's going to be doing when he gets back in the ring. And that's, once again, that's a shoot. Okay.
Shane Dorr, Cole is a sexy beast. Oh, man. Hey, and look, I got to say it, because if you guys haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, The Lowdown. It's a new podcast.
The Popcast.
Elliot, the Popcast.
It's
the Popcast. Yes. The Popcast from Elliot Potson. Poston? P-O-S. Yeah, P-O-S. Potson.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Dude.
He's now Popston. He's now that's his name. Popston now.
Popson. Yeah, we'll go with Popson. No, Poston. Elliot Potson. And Shane Dorr. It is called The Lowdown. Check it out. Awesome interview. Their opening interview was Ethan Case, and it was
okay.
It was a good interview. I had a hard time listening because I was on the road, and the volume is very different in my car as opposed to my earbuds.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Popston. There it is. Popston.
There
it is. We have named him now. Yeah,
he is
that
Popston
is
now.
Awesome, dude. And guys, if you're not busy this weekend, that's the show you need to be at in Lexington, South Carolina. You need to go check out Palmetto Championship Wrestling. I'm going to be on the
and Shane, please forgive me. It's just been a hectic few weeks to a month for me, to be honest with you. I completely forgot, because since I got the weekend free, I've been wondering where's a good wrestling show for me to go check out. And I think I found out where it's going to be.
Oh, there we go.
And I know Shane Dorr's going to be like, you say that every time. I'm going to try not to get sick, okay? I promise. That's every time I say I'm going to go. I actually gave Jimmy Ward and all my tickets last time because
I know they sat front row with us.
Yeah,
they were at the end.
I bought front row tickets. I was ready to be there, and next thing you know, that's when freaking
food poisoning.
Yeah, food poisoning got me, and I was just like, all right, Jimmy, so I don't think I can make it. And he goes, well, what are you gonna do? I said, just take the tickets. There's an extra one in there. If you take somebody or Gavin take a friend, y'all have a good time. And they had a great time.
Shane, send me a poster real quick. I'll put your poster up before I get out of here. Just send me a poster in Messenger, please. I'll look for one at the same time.
I'm gonna get my hug from Dave.
From Little Dave? Oh, Little Dave's got something going on too.
He's not. If he's not there, I riot.
Okay. Okay. Shane said, I love you guys. Best wishes. And then he also said, you say that every time.
See, I knew he was going to say that. I knew it.
Because Missy asked, where is that show? That show is in Lexington, South Carolina. It is going to be Saturday. It is going to be at the Taylor Plantation.
That's right.
I don't know bell time or anything else. I'm waiting on Shane to send me a freaking poster, or I'm just going to have to find it.
The plantation, the building that they use, is literally, and I kid you, no joke, not even 5 minutes from my house. All I have to do is get onto Old Orangeburg Road, and that's all it is.
Gotcha.
And like I said, I'm that close, and yeah, Shane's gonna be like, I'm gonna give Shane a heart attack if I show up on Saturday.
Yep. All right. So here, I got you hooked up. Missy, I went and downloaded this just for you. So, There it is. The Mad Dog Days of Summer featuring Mad Dog Mayhem himself.
Yep.
Josh Powers, by and large, is a phenomenal addition to any locker room in the Carolina region. Georgia included, Florida included. The guy's money. Just one of the coolest people you could ever meet. So, look, there you go. Show starts at 6 p.m. 127 Taylor Lane, Lexington.
I can make that.
You say that every time.
Yeah, I know I say that every time, but I don't have wife or kids. So unless once again, you know what? Screw it. If I get sick, I'm going to show up. You're just going to have to kick me out if I throw up over the railing.
Got you. Shane Dorr says, fire Dave.
No, we
Don't fire
want
Dave.
Dave. We want Dave.
Missy Childress said, thank you. Missy, I'm telling you what I know. I know it's a drive. And I know it's a wrestling show. I wouldn't be telling you if it wasn't worth going to see it.
Yeah.
Okay? And I don't work for them. I don't work for them. I still support them because they do good work. Their storylines have more continuity than AEW.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not that I've really been watching AEW lately, because I haven't really been watching a lot of wrestling on TV. But the last time I consistently watched AEW, I couldn't keep up with anything because I was so confused about the progression of storylines. And it's like wrestling's good. Well, some matches are better than others, but of course that goes with every place you go to. You're always going to have your favorites. But I was just like sitting here like, I don't understand. I really didn't. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to even keep up with it. I'm just going to watch for the wrestling, and that kept me going. But then after that, I was just like, I'm too busy to watch anything nowadays because of my new job and everything. So
when I get back, because see, I'm going to take care of some things out of state.
Yeah.
And I'll be back in time for AWL. Now, with that being said, when I get back, I do have a plan to start attending some other shows because I'd like to get out there and see what else is out there, just as a fan's perspective. Shane and them tagged me and stuff, and Elliot called me or wanted me to talk to me just the other day, podcasting questions. Love talking to the guy. He's a great dude. It's always a good time talking to Shane anyway. So it's like, dude, I support what they do. Whether or not I always have time to go down there is another ball game because it's 2-hour drive for me, roughly. Something like that. It's like a 2-hour drive one way. And it was, when we got back the last time, man, we were all exhausted. Me, the wife, and my little girl was asleep. Yeah. Because she went with us. It was her first time being there. She loved how loud it was. So that was cool. But I always make sure to field the venue and everything before I take them, the wife and kids, because I want to make sure it's going to be safe.
Oh yeah, no, I completely understand.
I didn't take them to Lawrence, right?
Do you really want me to make a comment about that?
No, besides the fact that I made the right decision not to take them. The wrong decision was probably me going. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. I'm gonna behave. He
likes to run on days that I've got things going on. Well, Timothy, it is what it is. First was on call, second was another show, and now this one's my girl's birthday. Dude. All right, Shane originally did have something big planned for August. Things have changed on that ordeal. So, when Shane's ready to announce the big thing that he's got planned, I'm pretty sure it'll be announced on his podcast first. And then it'll be announced on this podcast, hopefully, if Shane agrees to that again. And we'll go from there. And we'll just have to make it a big old thing where we get it like a freaking bus or maybe an excursion. They both get about 8 to the gallon, so we'll figure it out. And we'll just all go down there. that would be the way. Well, you don't have to. You live 5 minutes away. So
That's right.
yeah, no. I mean, all of us
So-
from the Sparkleburg and Funyun area. Yeah. Oh, dude. No. All right. Well, I can't do that one. But we call Whitmire like Witlessmeyer.
I mean, you're
Onion,
not you're not there. You're not there long enough for it to be called anything. There's a sign literally when you get to Whitmire that says, "Welcome to Whitmire, the Piedmont, the Pearl of the Piedmont." And the moment that you pass that sign, there's another sign right behind it that says, "Thank you for visiting Whitmire, the Pearl of the Piedmont." There's
I'm
one
aware.
road. There's
I've
one
been-
road, and then it's
I've been there. I
Finley
can
Newberry.
I can claim it as Witlessmeyer though. I worked there.
Okay.
Funyun for Union. Hoanna. Oh wait, that's probably not a good one. Duncan. I don't remember what the hell we called Duncan, but we always called Blacksburg the Methlands as we drove through that. It gets worse.
You've never been to Gaston in Lexington County.
I've been to Gaston.
You been to Gaston?
North Carolina? Yeah.
No, South Carolina. Lexington here, where I live. See,
I've been to Lexington I've been to Lexington for the Palmetto shows a couple times.
Yeah, there's a little section in Lexington County. It's called Gaston, and that's a combination of Deliverance and Tyrone from the Chappelle Show skits.
Nice.
Hey, man.
Timothy Godfrey says, I call Union Onion Town. We called it Funyun. I don't know why, but we just called it Funyun. Mrs. Childers says, hey, she said, what's
Hey.
wrong with Gaston County?
Wrong Gaston. I'm talking about
You're talking about Gaston, North Carolina. I've been there too, but I mean, I didn't think that was that bad. I mean,
No. Gaston County is not the same as the little area called Gaston in Lexington County in South Carolina.
okay.
You could probably ask Bob Keller. He lives around the Swansea area, and he could probably tell you. He's like, yeah, there ain't nothing there but crack addicts and meth heads.
Well, that sounds about right. But I mean, it's weird. It's weird where we are in the country, man, because we're in the Bible Belt, and you got your choice. You got the trap house, you got the church, or you got the meth lab. That's about it. And when I first moved down here, I was on I-85, and I crossed into the South Carolina border. When was the last time you did that? Came from North to South Carolina on 85?
On 85, it's been a hot moment because the last time that I came in through North Carolina to South Carolina was when I came back from Silva, when we did the joint show with Heroes to Legends.
It's 26, right?
Yeah, we got on 26 because
right.
26 is a lot better than 85.
It is. Now, here's the kicker with this. When you first cross into South Carolina from North Carolina on I-85, there are two very distinct things you pass. You pass a huge fireworks store, and then you pass a huge porno store. So I came into this state when I first moved down here, and I was like, explosions and porno, I'm home! I was just happy to be here. And I've told that joke a half a dozen times now. Not on air, but it's funnier on air because I really don't give a shit. And it was just funny to hear different people's reaction. Now, what was even funnier is my brother-in-law drove down here for the first time. He said, I knew we were getting close because we passed fireworks and porno, and I figured you had to be nearby somewhere. Yeah. I'm like, Jesus, thanks, man. That's great. But at any rate, guys, it's been a hell of a show. We went twice as long as we planned on, but that's normal. So at any rate, Cole, once again, thank you for everything, and thank you for being here. Our well wishes, as always, to Chase. Guys, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll catch you down the road. I will see you all Sunday, where I have two special guests. Thus proclaimed. You know the rest of it.